Welcome to another episode of the Meal Prep Monday podcast. I'm your host and founder of Prep Dish, Allison Schaaf. Today, we are talking about protein. So we're revisiting a topic that we addressed in January, but back in January, it was really popular. So we decided a few things here at Prep Dish, and I'm going to get into all of those in today's episode, talk about protein, the hype, is it worth it, what I think, and really get into it. So let's just dive right in. So like I said, back in January, we did some protein boost meal plans at Prep Dish. Those were very popular. And what we did behind the scenes is we really worked to make sure all of our meal plans were hitting that mark of 30 grams of protein per serving. And we've done a few things to help with that in particular. All of our plans have really been plans that, help you reach your protein goals, but we've never specifically shot for that number. So we tried to be more intentional with that and on the super fast plans and tried to make sure also, so we always have a vegetarian option on that plan, which is harder, right? It's going to be harder to hit that goal. So what we've done is we've added in the option to add a protein to really make sure all of the meals are hitting the mark. So that's something we've been doing behind the scenes. We haven't talked about it a lot. We just realized this is what people are wanting. So we've made adjustments there. But rather than just talk about that, we realized we really wanted to do something that wasn't just the meal plans. We wanted to come up with more of an educational piece. So we have launching, so this episode is going live on Monday. And then on Saturday is when our protein workshop goes live. This is a 3-week workshop. It's similar to our challenges that we used to have in the past. I'm sure those of you who have been following along for a while are familiar with the Prep Dish challenges. We've tried to kind of get away from that wording of challenge because honestly, the whole point behind this is to make things easier for you, not more challenging. So workshop it is. And we're really going to workshop through, again, protein, thinking of your why, how to do it, the why, the how, all of these things. So before we talk more about that, I wanted to talk specifically my experience with protein and some things that I've noticed. So with the protein workshop, one of the first things we have you start by doing is think about your why. Like why, okay, yes, protein is having a day, right? Like it's getting all of this good press, right? But why do you want to increase? Or, I don't know that I'm not going to make an assumption that you do, but if say you join this workshop because you're like, oh, I think I do want to increase my protein, but what is the why behind that? And there's a whole list of things. It could be, strength and muscle and balancing hormones, weight loss, recovery after exercise, feeling full longer, like balancing those blood sugar levels, lowering blood pressure, improving your immune system. So there can be a lot of different kind of, okay, this is why. But even beyond that, I really encourage people to what's the ultimate why though? Like there's something deeper than, okay, you want to build muscle. Well, why do you want to build muscle, right? Like for me, I want to build muscle because I have a baby and I just found out he's 16 pounds and he's only 4 months old. So I got to keep my strength up so I can be carrying him around. And, I have young kids. I want to keep my energy levels up so that I can continue to be this energetic, thriving mom that plays with them. I don't want to sit on the sidelines. So, what are these kind of deeper whys? And, maybe it's a self-confidence thing too. It doesn't need to all be about kids or grandkids. There are some internal confidence pieces and health things that really can be this deeper why as well. But, that's something I've noticed. So since January, I've really focused more on making sure that I am getting adequate protein throughout the day. This creating these meal plans and then working on this, new protein workshop have really been a nice way for me to put that focus on making sure I'm getting enough protein. And I have noticed that I have more stable energy levels. There's not as many dips and fluctuations when I'm doing my weightlifting, which I'm just trying to get back into. I know it's been hard with a little one. On purpose, my husband and I both kind of put a pause on that. First few months, it's hard without sleep to do that. But, as I get back into weightlifting, that's something I notice right away. Both if I'm not taking enough intake overall, but specifically protein, I definitely get more fatigued and have more struggles with lifting heavier weights. So that's something that's really easy to notice. But some of the other things are maybe a little more subtle, but I definitely notice an improvement in a lot of the different health markers. And the one that I really like to go to, and if you go back to January, so if you did not listen to all of our January episodes and you want to hear more on protein, I did a few interviews and just some podcast episodes that really focused on protein specifically. And the one with, I think it was with Laura, and she talked about markers for health beyond weight and like, what are you using to, as your markers for health? And for me, yeah, I'm not weighing myself, but I'm definitely checking in. Like, what are my energy levels? Am I waking up energetic and ready for the day? Like, to me, that's what's important right now. Like, that's what I care about are my energy levels. So that's one of my top markers for health. Am I getting good sleep? Am I, those are the things that I'm using as markers for my health. So I think that's something too to reflect on is like, what am I looking for? What are my goals with increasing protein if that's something you're looking to do? So those are some things that I've been noticing in my life. And then with this protein workshop, so two things that here at Prep Dish, we are really trying to accomplish, I guess you could say, with these meal plans and with this workshop. Number one is taste. I see too often everyone's like, oh, eat more protein, just, add some chicken breast or, whatever, here's like ways you can add protein to your meal or, just have this piece of meat. And that's great, but it's not, right? Like, okay, maybe that works for a week or two, or maybe if we did, our 21-day challenge or workshop and it was just, focusing solely on that, then you could do it. But if you want it to be sustainable and you want it to last and you want it to be something that you really incorporate in your day-to-day life and that you can use with your family, right? Like you want meals where you can all sit down and eat the same thing and you're not having to have a weird separate meal that then your kids don't eat. So, that's really our number one goal is how to take this goal of having 30 grams of protein at meals and especially breakfast. And how do you do that? But have it be something that tastes good and not just to you, but your whole family, right? Like maybe you're like, well, I could gag down this like protein smoothie every morning and I'll do it because I know I need to. No, like here's like a really delicious like breakfast hash or we have a Greek frittata that is delicious that kicks off the first week of meal plans. And I'm trying to think what the others, I think one of them is a smoothie. And then the other one, I think it's like some sort of quiche because it has like an almond flour crust that's really delicious. So I'm always looking for breakfast ideas and especially the make ahead, like the frittata is a great one because you can make it and then kind of have it for a few days and that works really well. But yeah, we're really trying to figure out how to make incorporating more protein something that's tasty. Like I don't want it to be, oh, let's just add something in to get to the numbers, right? But how do we choose meals that are tasty and delicious? And oh yeah, they do get you to your protein goals too. So that's really what we're working towards there. And then the second goal is to make it easy, right? I don't want you to have to be sitting down to every meal, putting it into a calculator and counting it out. And again, like having a separate meal from everyone else. It's like, nope, here's some meals. They're already done for you. And hey, by the way, you'll be getting enough protein if you eat this way. So really figuring out a way to make it easy. As always, like the grocery lists are done for you, all of these things. And I've been testing them out here at my house. And today for lunch, that one of my favorite things is to double the recipes so that I can have the leftovers for lunch. And the first week has a Greek chicken bowl and it has a really delicious parsley sauce. So Seven made he's still in the phase of he wants to make everything with me, which, I love. It's adorable, but he, had to make the parsley sauce with me. So he ripped off the parsley leaves and measured everything out. We had to add a few extra cloves of garlic, which luckily turned out fine, but he really wanted to smash the garlic with me. So we had an extra garlicky sauce, but there's like this lemon parsley sauce that's used on the chicken bowls and just a really like tasty way of having lunch. And I wasn't eating it thinking like, oh, this is like a good high protein lunch. It just was a really delicious lunch that you would eat any other time. So that's the goal with these meals. If you are a Prep Dish premium subscriber, you get free access to this workshop. If you're thinking of becoming a premium subscriber, this is a great chance. You sign up to become a premium subscriber, you get access to this for free. You do have to, so we send out emails asking if you want to join. You have to click yes, because we only send the, emails out to people that have said they want to receive them. So even if you're a premium subscriber, you still have to quote unquote opt in. If you're not a premium subscriber and you want to join, I set up a code join MPM. That's short for Meal Prep Monday. So join MPM. That code will get you $10 off. And you can sign up at prepdish.com/challenge. So that will be included in the show notes here. That kicks off on May 4th. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do with the challenge when it's over. We do usually include them in the premium subscriber login, but I'm not sure if this will be a standalone product that's for sale or anything. So if you're listening to this in real time in 2024, make sure to sign up before Saturday, May 4th. So by Friday, I think at midnight is when the doors close. So yeah, sign up. I hope you can join. We also have a Facebook group. So if you are joining, make sure to get into that group. That's a great place. The menus are always flexible, open for substitutions, omissions, everything's gluten-free. I'm always gluten-free. So that's always easy. Dairy's optional. I'm trying to think what else. All the subs and stuff are in there. So very flexible if you have any kind of food allergies or intolerances that you need to work around. And hope you can join us on May 4th. Again, that's prepdish.com/challenge to join our protein workshop. Thank you. And I'll be back again next Monday with another episode.